the biggest thing with distributors, they buy your product and they sell them to retailers that they're doing business with. In addition to being the middle person handling your product, they usually provide marketing and sales services. So they have ways to promote your products at the retailers, and they also have a team of people that will assist you in sales. One of the big advantages, they buy in pallets and in truckloads and then break them into smaller shipments for retailers. And retailers, even major retailers, use third-party distributors because these products are slow-moving products and they wouldn't turn enough in their mainstream warehouse. The other advantage is when you're selling through a distributor, you're going to turn your product much quicker, so you have better code lives out there, especially if you're in a category with a shelf life of an item less than 180 days. The other things that they do is they will cut cases. So if you have a spaghetti sauce item packed 12 to a case, a lot of times these distributors will cut that case in half and sell it as a 6-pack because it might not be enough space to get 4 flavors on a shelf with packed 12 to a case, not a room on the shelf. So they will cut them and sell half cases. And in some situations, depending on the category, they might even call what's called single pick, sell single units to the store. So they break open a case and sell it in a single unit. They can provide a variety of services from setting the sections, taking the orders, working the shelves, doing merchandising programs, and in some cases setting up sales analysis and flyers to set up a point-of-sale system. So some of the smaller stores, they really rely on distributors to help them promote their products. For the supplier, consolidating the shipping of receivables to fewer parties helps you get the product to a retailer in a much more efficient manner. So how do you decide if you should be selling through a distributor? The guiding principle is to make the product available how your retail customer wants to buy it. So if you go to a major retailer and they say, you know what, we like this item, oftentimes they might say to you, we want to buy it through X, Y, and Z distributor because that's where we buy our specialty products from or our natural products or a certain category from. Who are your target retailers, principal distributor suppliers? So hopefully before you go into that meeting, you have somewhat of an idea of who potentially their suppliers are. Maybe that's by visiting the store and talking to like a store manager or a grocery manager or trying to get the lay of the land. So when you go into the retailer, you're not totally surprised when they're asking you about that because that will definitely be one of the questions of, okay, how am I going to get this product to the store? Some people will ship it directly to the store. And the question is, does your product lend itself to that? A lot of it has to do with what type of item you are, the weight, the perishability, the package size. Many tea companies and supplement companies will ship direct via UPS or FedEx ground to the stores. That's pretty simple because their product is small, low in weight. But if you are selling apple juice, it's going to be kind of difficult for you to sell to the stores via UPS or FedEx ground because of the fact that you have to watch about damages and the weight and everything else, and it would be cost prohibitive. So then the next question you have to look at is, does your pricing and margin structure have room for distributor margin? So you have to realize now, if you're going to sell it through a distributor to a retailer, your price will be a little bit higher than if the retailer is buying it directly. It's an unfortunate situation, but it's something that you have to look at when you're building your business. And many companies start out this way because it's going to take you time to build up the volume, but they're going to want to put something in the main warehouse. And the next question is, can you officially scale up your business by going direct? How much, when you really put a pencil to it, do you really saving that much by going direct? Because of the fact that you got to look at they would order smaller pallet quantities, so you'd be shipping to different warehouses, to more warehouses, a lot of shipping costs that go along to it. You got to look at the rotation. So that goes a lot into one of the benefits of a distributor. So understand, if you went direct, okay, is it really efficient to do that or not? How many distributors do we need? So that's the next question we always get. Well, do I just sign up a distributor and they can do all the stores? It sounds great, but understand that some distributors want you to sell only to them. But what they don't tell you is that they don't service every customer in the market. So if you only sell to one distributor, you might not be able to get to all the stores in a given market, whether it's New England, the Southeast, or California, or something. So we wish we could sell to one distributor and say, okay, you're going to cover the whole state of California for us, but that's not necessarily how it works. Because what happens is retailers have agreements and contracts with certain distributors. So a couple of the major ones are United Natural Foods and KE Distributors. So if you take a couple of chains up here in New England, Stop and Shop uses United Natural Foods for products. And Shaw's, their biggest competitor in New England, uses KE. So you can't go to one distributor and get in both chains. So unfortunately, in a lot of cases, you're going to have to go into multiple distributors. The other thing is certain classes of trade. There are certain classes of trade that they do, some distributors that do food service only. Some distributors do grocery and food service. So you have to understand the territory and classes of trade of each of your distributors handle. And then there are a lot of regional distributors around, and I have a listing later on in here, and some are really specific. When you go into New York City, there are some distributors that really only work into New York City, and there's some very good distributors, and there's a lot of volume to be had there. So there's never a right answer about how many distributors do you need right now. So what you need to do is make sure you understand all their strengths and weaknesses to understand that and adapt accordingly. Okay, where am I going to need? Who are the major distributors? How well can they work for us?